As the metoo movement continues to generate conversation about sexual misconduct, a lot of men are also finding themselves asking themselves questions about consent and respecting boundaries.
Yeah, important questions. Galen Erickson and Jordan Giordano are with us this morning, joining the conversation, hosting an event tonight, a town hall, gentlemen, in Seattle on masculinity and all of this. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate it.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, what's this event tonight all about? Bringing the men into the mix.
Yeah, so the event is tomorrow. It's Friday night, and it's called Evolving Masculinity, a Me Too era conversation. And what we're finding is that that it's not just a few bad individuals who are overstepping boundaries. There's a culture of masculinity which is leading to even just really good guys just to make mistakes in how they interact with women and how they interact in the world. Mm-hmm. So this conversation is about evolving masculinity, of sort of how can we create a more expansive, consent-based and compassionate culture of masculinity?
You know, some of the guys I talked to after this conversation began, a lot of the women in the newsroom were talking about it, and you hear it from their perspective. And some of the guys are going, you know, I'm scared to even compliment a woman. Is it okay to do this? Is it okay to do that? Now I'm having all these questions about what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. Is that right, Jordan?
Yeah, I think one of the big challenges we've found in planning the event and some of the events we've done leading up to this is there's a big blind spot around, oh, I'm a nice guy, I'm not a guy like that. And then when Me Too happened, a lot of us had an opportunity to question, you know, oh, okay, maybe I thought I was acting appropriately in that situation, and it's really expanded. Mm-hmm. But I think, you know, Galen in his work as a men's group facilitator and a dating coach has really helped some people through you know, navigating some of this area of, you know, how do you act with consent? How do you respect someone's boundaries? How do you kind of have some of these tricky conversations?
So I'm also curious too, right? How much of it is the culture and how much of it is just biology, right? I mean, the conversation comes up, a guy is going to be attracted to a woman because that's just what we're here to, I mean, we're here to attract a mate, attract another person. Absolutely. How much of that plays into what's going on here?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think one of the things we're seeing is that people are so afraid of doing the wrong thing that they're even shutting down their own biology. And actually the culture of masculinity that we talk about is actually shutting down to your own embodied wisdom. So the work that we do is actually allowing people to just be more aware of reading those subtle cues. Because you know, and you're able to read those subtle cues, and you know how to respect someone if you're in touch with that. But a lot of what we're seeing is that guys are so tone deaf to their own emotions, their own sort of physical energy of reading the energy of the situation, that they're not able to read those signs, which are very clear to most women, which who often are a lot more just aware.
And you know, I think boys grow up, become men. You never really talk about this. There's no manual on this kind of stuff, right? So you're hoping this is an opportunity for you both to engage in conversation with men at this event at Town Hall tomorrow night. And because you're a relationship coach, you bring kind of one aspect. You're a self-defense coach. You bring sort of another aspect to the conversation, right? And so you're going to be having this event, but you want people to participate, right, in the conversation.
Absolutely, and I think that's a really important part of this is that, like, we don't have it all figured out. You know, obviously we have a unique perspective in our work, but one of the most powerful parts is getting people together and sharing their stories, contextualizing what has each of their experiences been in managing consent or interacting with people, or what does it mean to be a man? And that's sometimes where the richest parts of these conversations come from, is actually the people. So there will be a long discussion part of that event.
Yeah, and it might actually be, might be more of a man by learning those cues, I believe.
And that's where the tricky piece comes in is, you know, there's a biological part, but a big part of it is how we are conditioned in our society as men. It is we are a don't take no for an answer society, and we also have an epidemic of sexual assault and sexual violence, and we think there's a really big relationship there. So by bringing not just ourselves to it as the works in progress we are, but bringing the community in, it's an opportunity for everybody to talk about their individual conditioning, how masculinity has been shaped for them, maybe not consciously, and to start kind of digging in and unpacking some of this culture a little bit.
Yeah, so important.
The event is called Evolving Masculinity. It's a free event. Again, Town Hall, Seattle, tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. You can still get tickets at townhallseattle.org. Jordan and Galen, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Great conversation, you guys.
Thank you, much appreciated.